I have been begging for a Fallout action figure, and the action figure gods have finally blessed us with one. But is it overpriced? Is the elite price tag actually worth it? Let's open it up, check it out, and of course do some toy photography. Okay, I'm gonna be honest right now. This is probably my most anticipated figure of this year. Probably? I feel like I've been on my knees begging to action figure Jesus just for forever to give me an articulated Fallout action figure in this scale. Yeah, there's some big 301s. Yeah, there's some old ones, whatever, but not really a good one. And this is finally it. I love the Fallout franchise so much. So I'm so excited. And this here is another McFarlane Elite Edition figure. And you know, I did another one of these recently. I did the Doomslayer from Doom the Dark Ages, and I really loved it. And I thought it was worth the $50 or $60, but a lot of people disagreed with me. And to be honest, a lot of people were quite upset that I even liked the figure, which is odd to me, but I loved it. And I have a feeling I'm gonna love this figure too. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have problems with it. But of course, I'm gonna go into this as objectively as I possibly can to give an fully honest review, because who knows, maybe this thing really sucks, but it's Fallout, come on. So I ended up picking this guy up on GameStop.com. I pre-ordered it. It was really the only place left that was still available on pre-order. It's sold out so quickly, but this guy's been popping up in GameStop stores and at Walmart. It's usually like a little bit cheaper at Walmart too. I think 50 bucks at Walmart, 60 everywhere else. Yeah, Venom, it's time, Fallout. But if you do want to pick this figure up for yourself, I'll have all the links in the description so you can pick it up, and hopefully you can get a hold of one. And man, I'm pretty excited. There's also a bunch of other Fallout ones coming, some in the Elite line, and then also some other ones that I saw that were even starting to show up in Target that haven't even been revealed yet, that I just saw the other day. And those are all like TV show related figures that aren't Elite, so I'm pretty excited. Fallout is coming, and of course the show is coming out next December, and I can't wait. Anyway, let's open up the figure. Let's do this. So this is the T60 power armor, and there's a lot of other power armor models out there. You know, you got the T45, you've got the X01. So are we gonna see all those? Is McFarlane gonna put figures out for all of them? I would love to see that. I'm sure we'll get some repaints because there's plenty of, you know, we might get the Sugar Bomb paint or something, and I would be fine with that. I would buy all of them. So I really hope these are successful because I want to get them all. Okay, well, here's the figure. Okay, so the very first thing I'm thinking is the sculpt really is quite impressive. I feel like this power armor is such a very distinctive looking design, and it's very bulky, and it's big, and it's got all kinds of weird stuff. It's just really weird. They nailed it. Really nailed it. I do think, however, the paint is a little lacking, which is so weird because the Doomslayer Elite figure, the paint was honestly the best I've ever seen McFarlane do. And yeah, there is a few different paint colors and stuff going on. You know, there's a gray, there's some black wash, there's a little bit more of a red in there. There's a little bit going on, but there's nothing really silvery looking that makes it look metal, which is a little unfortunate to me, and I'm actually kind of surprised about that. So I think I'm gonna use a little bit of rub and buff on this thing. I will say that is a little bit lacking, and it's kind of disappointing. The joints feel pretty good. Some of them are a little bit loose, but nothing too loose. Like nothing is a problem. Like everything feels pretty good. And it's also interesting too, the articulation weirdly is not very good. I mean, it's a really big figure, and I don't really know how well you'd be able to get articulation with this thing anyway, but it seems better than the Doomslayer was, which is kind of amazing because this guy is even bigger than he is. It's like they switched with this figure and the Doomslayer, but I'm still really liking this so far. It looks like the Fallout power armor I've always been wanting, and that's awesome. So as far as articulation goes, it's not the best. I don't know what you would really expect from this. I know 1000 Toys had like a prototype a while ago, but clearly they, I don't know, gave up or something. And I'm sure something like that would have had much better articulation, but this one is not awful. You know, you can turn pretty well. There's not a ton of crunch, but you can get a little bit of leg up, you know? And so these shoulder pads actually are on a ball joint, which is pretty good. And you can get a T-pose. So when you want that good Bethesda glitch, you can actually do it. The Bethesda bugged game, you can actually do it. So that's pretty cool. So there's one thing though that is kind of weird. So the elbow articulation you have to kind of force it because it has like, so this is where it is right now, which is about 90 degrees. But if you look in the center here by his elbow pit, it can go a little bit more, but this piece of his armor is actually blocking it from going further. If you force it, you can get a little more elbow articulation, but yeah, this little piece is hindering it, which kind of sucks. I will say the articulation is kind of better than I thought. Wasn't expecting anything great, but it's weird how it's better than the Doomslayer. So one of the things that these elite figures and all of these higher priced, like special figures, whether they're maximum elite or what, one of the big justifications for them is they've got lots of accessories. So starting with right here, we've got the plasma pistol, which is pretty cool. I was more of a ballistic weapons kind of guy, but we've got a plasma pistol. It looks really, really great. We've got an alien pistol, which is also really cool. Something I never used, but kind of, I would say a little bit more of a deep pull, and that's kind of cool. Speaking of deep pulls, this is the ski sword. So if you played Fallout 76, you'll know this one, but if you were one of those people that hated it, then you probably won't know this one. So that's pretty cool. And help me out here actually for a sec. So this is the laser pistol, right? Definitely the laser pistol. And this is missing a little bit of paint. This needs more like red and white on here for this to be, right? That's what it's missing. But I can tell because it's got the, what are those things called in there? The kinds of ammo that laser rifles have? I can't remember. And then this right here, I think this is just a modded like 10mm pistol, right? Or is this something else? I might be struggling with this one. Don't remember, is this a modded like 10mm? Then we've got this heavy gun, which I'm surprised this is in here. This is the Gauss minigun, which is also a 76 gun, which, man, I don't know, weird choice, but here it is. And then this is the light machine gun. I think this is what this one's called, which looks really good. And honestly, this is never one I used either, but I think as a whole, as far as accessories, it's cool that we have all of these, but I would have had some different options. I would have had a super sledge, probably just the regular minigun, I don't know, a fat boy, mini nukes. Like those would have been a lot more iconic Fallout guns, which is surprising to me, but I am still very happy with all of these. It's just, they went with some more obscure ones, which is interesting. And we've got a bunch of hands. So we've got one fist. He's got a fist and a holding hand on there now, but we've got another fist, a wide open hand, another holding hand, and then a pointer hand, which is kind of cool. And when you switch the hands out, you can actually get him into poses that can really, look legit. Like when he's used, it's pretty basic, but it fits. This really looks like he's holding the minigun, and it works. So I'm quite happy with that. Like this looks like a good enough pose to me where he's actually doing it, and I'm happy with that. So good job with that part, at least, McFarlane. And with the other ones, pistol, stuff like that, it works out too. I think that worked out well. They all look pretty good. But before I measure him, I'm just kind of realizing something. So he does come with the stand, which most McFarlane figures come with, and it is branded as Fallout 76. So I'm understanding, oh, okay, that's why it's got all these Fallout 76 style weapons, because that's the goal. That's the goal for this one. So anyway, this thing is a big thing. Almost 9 inches. No, it's about 8, exactly. It's about 8 inches, a little bit over 8. So it's a very, very big figure. Like this is a honky-tonky boy. Oh, Venom, I need you to scooch, pal, because I need to compare it to other figures. Stay. Anyway, so this is a McFarlane Scorpion. I just did a video on these guys, and that's how it compares to a typical McFarlane figure. So pretty normal size, whatever. And then this is the elite version of the Doomslayer. So happy to have both of these guys. They look really good, right? They look really good. And then this right here, which is gonna be, I think, a really fun comparison. This is the T45 power armor from Funko that came out years ago. And I think this is a cool figure. Venom, sorry, you're really, the background is hard to see because of you. And it really is kind of fun to see the comparison here. And you know what? I kind of like this shiny paint more. Whatever, Venom. I kind of like the paint on this a little bit more. There's not as much detail, but it is like shiny, and I like that. That would have been cool on here, right? Okay, it's time for the big question. Is this a W or is this an L? I tried to be really objective and not biased because I really do just love Fallout. I'm just very excited for this figure, so I wanted to still be very fair. I want to be very fair, and I still want to give this figure a W, even though there's still a couple things about it I don't love. One of them really is the paint. The paint, I think, is pretty lackluster. Like, this could have had some more chrome, silvery, shiny details, which would have made this figure just incredible. And I don't know why they didn't do that, but I'm gonna paint this figure in a second. That's really the main thing about this figure I don't like. I think all of the accessories are really cool, and they work well, and the accessories are great. Is it worth it to me that this is a $50, $60 figure? Yes, it is worth it to me. I think it's cool, but if it's not worth it to you, I get it. I totally understand. What's worth it to you is pretty subjective, and it depends on what you love and what matters to you more than other things do. I'm giving it a W, even though there's a couple things about it I don't totally love. Okay, I'm gonna paint this guy a little bit. And if you're familiar with my videos you've watched from a while back, you'll know what this is right here. This is Rub and Buff. This is my favorite paint. Anytime you wanna make something look shiny, like actually shiny on a figure, you use Rub and Buff. It's wax based. A little bit goes a long way. So you kinda just gotta take a little bit, put in there, and then rub it in, put it in some little crevices and rub it in. And then afterwards, I'm gonna put a little bit of a matte finish on here to just seal it all in, and I think that's gonna also look really good. Just gonna take a paintbrush like this and then just go into some little details and then make it a little shinier, and I think it's gonna make a big difference. So yeah, let's go. All right, well, he's all done. I just need to do the matte finish, and I think he looks so much better already. Like, wow. I actually ended up using a little bit of this copper one too. I don't know, this one fits as kind of like a rust, a little bit of rust in there or something, but it's really, really easy to do this. Like, when you just kind of brush it on, it kind of like latches on to the raised parts of it, and it just looks so good and natural. You just do it, whatever. I'm gonna spray it, and then we'll do a before and after. Okay, and here he is. What a difference. It looks so much better. I'm so incredibly happy with it. It's shiny now, looks good. It's cheap to do this. This probably took me like 20 minutes. I'll have the link in the description to buy this stuff if you want it, Rub and Buff, all that stuff. Now that it looks good, I gotta take him out for a toy photo. So let's go and take a shot with this boy. Well, I'm here at my favorite abandoned place that I go to all the time. So great for photography, and obviously what better thing for this place than Fallout. And check it out. I've got my T60 power armor, and I've got a Nuka-Cola machine. So this is actually custom made Nuka-Cola machine by a buddy of mine named Comic Dad. Thanks so much, man. Finally getting the chance to shoot this thing. And I've got a bunch of other various props around here. So this is just a poster I made. I printed it out and weathered it a little bit. And this is also a little sign that I made a while ago, Nuka-Cola sign. I've also got a Fallout shelter one here. I have a tutorial on how to make these if you're interested. And I used a lot of these same props in a Fallout video I did last year, I think, or maybe it was 2 years ago. And I've got a bunch of these little mini cola bottles, which are actually, they're not Nuka-Cola. They're just little cola bottles that are from, I think, Hobby Lobby. I got them a while ago. And yeah, they're not the rocket-shaped bottle, but it kind of fits more of like the Fallout 3 style, I suppose, even though the machine is more Fallout 4. Doesn't matter. I'm just kind of in this old dark area, and this guy in the power armor stumbled upon a old Nuka-Cola machine, hitting the jackpot. 200 years old, probably. And that's really it. There's no special stuff. I got just lighting, environment, props, and in camera, it looks like this. It's kind of cool, right? Look at that bokeh back there too. Very nice bokeh, right? It's so cool how it's blue. All of the, I don't know, the way the color's coming in is blue in camera, and the bokeh back there. So cool. So I have everything meticulously placed so it's all in the focus line, and I've got nice rim lighting, and I really just took some time putting everything exactly where I need it to be. So this Nuka-Cola machine actually lights up. There's a little switch on the bottom which makes it light up, which is really cool. And I've got some lighting back there for rim lighting, just a little bit here and there. My settings for the shot are 400 for my shutter speed. I don't need anything fast because I'm not moving any particles or anything like that. I've got 2.5 as my aperture. That really low aperture is getting some beautiful bokeh back there that I was just talking about. And I'm leaving my ISO at 400. I don't have any real crazy special things I'm gonna be doing here. I'm just gonna take the photo. There's nothing else to make sure I capture at the right time or anything. Maybe I'll do a little atmosphere aerosol. Maybe I'll spray some of that. That could be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna go take this shot. Let's go. Post photo breakdown time for our Wasteland Wandering T60 Power Armor guy. Okay, actually no, this is not the final product. Neither is this. This is the final product here, and I think it looks really cool. It feels kind of like Fallout, not gonna lie. It feels like Fallout, and man, that Nuka-Cola machine is just great, and the figure looks great too. Man, I'm pretty, like, I'm loving the figure. Like, figure looks good. Anyway, the before and after are pretty drastic. Nothing crazy, but I did a little bit of work. I definitely really darkened it, and I added a vignette, and I made it a lot cooler. I added a little headlight on the top of the power armor helmet right there, which I did the same exact process I used for making lightsabers to do that, and I added a little bit more light to here to make it look like that was lit up more, and I think that really adds to the atmosphere of it. And I did get rid of this because there was sunlight here. I didn't really like the sunlight. I used the generative fill for that, and so I did have some extra light from this shot I used here, and then there was some atmosphere aerosol in this shot. But let me know what you think. I'm curious, are you a huge Fallout fan? If you're watching this, I'm sure you probably are, but let me know what you think, and let's just run the end of the video. So what are your thoughts so far on the McFarlane Elite line? Is this something you're actually really liking, or do you think they're all just big overpriced figures with not enough stuff to justify their price? In my opinion, they're pretty great so far. I'd love to know what you think. Is this figure good or not so much at all? But if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo, of course, is going to be posted up onto Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, all of that stuff. And if you want to follow my work on any of those platforms, it's all linked in the video description below. YouTube also now has this new hype feature where you can hype a video within the first 7 days it's been posted. And if you have that button on your YouTube app, it'd be greatly appreciated to be hyped. Thank you so much just for watching and getting this far into the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.